Hello, Scary Dolls.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. I'm Mandy.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Carol.
And you are listening to Scary Not Scary Podcast. Woohoo. Welcome back.
Yay. I'm
We
so
remembered.
glad. I'm glad we're here, yo.
It's fun being back in the studio.
Yeah.
Being
The
together.
energy's different. It's better, I think.
Yeah. We're,
I can see y'all's beautiful faces.
what is it? Our Sunday rituals.
Sunday rituals. Bitchcraft.
So, do you want to tell everybody what you're making?
What am I making? Oh. Air fresheners. So random. I'm making car air fresheners. They're so cute. Yeah, $5 a pop. Let me know. No, I'm just kidding.
Hit me up.
Well, you too, Miss Thing.
What am I doing?
What are you doing?
I don't know.
What are you making?
What are you
Nothing.
making?
Your ass. I'm just kidding.
Your ass.
Oh.
I don't have an ass.
I am now a plastic surgeon. Hit me up. No, just kidding.
Girl, I'm the first one. I already booked my appointment.
I am making handcrafted earrings.
Yay.
Yes.
She made me pug ones, and I love them.
You guys, we picked up skills during quarantine.
And I make auto Saturn earrings.
Yeah, she did. I love Saturn. It's my favorite planet.
Yeah. So quarantine made me very crafty.
True.
So now I'm spending money on crafts at Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, waiting in line in the hot sun. I was waiting yesterday in the sun
That's
to get
the
inside.
line you were waiting in?
Yes, to get
I saw
inside.
your Snapchat.
All I needed was glitter and some baggies. But I was there with all the old ladies.
Yesterday, I went to go pick up food at Whataburger, and I told him I may or may not stop at Hobby Lobby. Okay, bye. And I left. I was at Hobby Lobby for like almost an hour.
Oh, I love Hobby Lobby. You could just,
And they always have
there all
sales
day.
too. It's like 50% off on
And
top of like
then
a 40% off coupon. Yeah.
And Ashley, aren't you making stuff too?
I decided, yes.
crafty.
Everyone else was making stuff. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make some stuff too. So I'm going to make bath bombs and shower steamers. My stuff comes in tomorrow. I'm excited.
I'm excited.
I
Look at
can't
us
wait.
being
I
all
want a shower
crafty.
steamer. Eucalyptus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Eucalyptus. I got some cute molds too.
Yay.
I'm even looking into because like the faux leather that I make the earrings out of. I found a website where I can create my own faux leather, and I'm actually thinking about putting our logo on there and making earrings. Mhm.
What if
Or like
you made
keychains.
Scary Not Scary Freshies? She makes Scary Not Scary earrings. I make Scary Not Scary bath bombs.
It's like all this blood coming out of the bath bombs.
God.
That'd be so
I just need a cookie cutter the shape of a crystal ball and we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, what's
Got
scent?
it.
Blood? No, I'm just kidding. Ew.
Nick knows how to weld. He can weld you one out of metal.
Nick.
Oh,
What the fuck, Nick?
we got this, y'all.
Why are you so crafty?
Nick, make me the biggest hoop earrings that you can think of.
Oh my God.
Imagine.
You're going to be on was that Ripley's Believe It or Not?
Oh my God, yeah.
World's biggest hoop earrings.
World's biggest hoe. Just kidding.
Dumb.
Oh.
And then me and Ashley are like hanging off of them.
Y'all are swinging in them like, in the circus when they're... Oh my
Circus
God.
ears. Oh my
Oh
God.
my God.
What's wrong with that?
I miss this.
Why are we like this?
I don't know.
Should we jump in? Because I know we got a lot.
Mine are short.
So today's episode is all about the evil and haunted toys.
Dolls.
Scary dolls.
Toys.
I hated every minute of it.
Hello, scary dolls. Literally.
Hello, scary dolls.
They're a hi.
I know. One pops out of Drew's closet. Hey.
Oi, I would run.
So I brought a porcelain doll in my purse for Ashley.
You did not.
No, I'm just kidding. Dang, that was a good
did.
idea.
They are beautiful and gorgeous. I remember from our other episode.
Me, stop calling them that. They're going to get you.
They're gorgeous. Let's hop in because I know y'all stories are long. I have a little baby stories. Okay. This is about a haunted Nintendo system. What? Super random.
I'm excited.
It's called Player 2. In 2002, a mysterious listing appeared on eBay claiming to auction a haunted 1980s Nintendo system. The seller stated that the Nintendo was found in a New York City attic. It had been owned by a boy who passed away many years before. After taking the console home, the eBay seller plugged it in and began to notice strange things while trying to play any of the cartridges. So the seller would hear mumbled speech and laughter mixed with the normal gaming sounds, also leading him to believe that the dead boy was trying to communicate. Most curiously, games would pause themselves and try to select player 2 modes, as if the spirit of the dead boy wanted to play along. That's it for that one.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Why?
Because I used to love Nintendo. I actually played with the Nintendo. And now I'm like,
scared. Well, that's pretty cool. He tried to play with him.
True.
But imagine like you're playing a game and it says player 2 and there's just you.
Like none of your friends are online and you have a ghost wanting to play with you. That's pretty cool.
This is why I don't play video games.
No, it's not. See, I told you mine was short. This one is for Mandy. Mandy, the crying baby.
Hi, guys. It's me, Mandy.
She was donated to the Quinzo Museum in 1991. So the woman reportedly told the staff that she was donating the doll because it would not stop crying at night. So imagine just
Mandy, why are you crying at night?
I'm a very emotional person.
Mandy did not like to be in display with other dolls. Oh no. She would tip all of them over until she was the last doll standing.
Sounds like something I would do.
The last doll standing.
I like her.
I know, she's cute. Then until she finally got her very own display case. I guess that's what she wanted, her own home, right?
She wanted all the attention.
She did. Yeah, when I was reading it, she wanted attention. She wanted to be carried around the museum like a baby, like stuff. People would take her on walks. So super random, yeah. And cameras are unable to capture a clear picture of Mandy. So she's like, no pictures, please. She's a diva. Did you guys ever play a game called Rap Rat?
I've heard of it. I've never played it.
You never played Rap Rat?
I've never, I don't know. Explain it to me.
Rap Rat was a weird game born out of a weird old fusion of board games with VHS videos. So you're playing the board game. While you're playing the board game, there's like a video playing in the back and it's telling you what to do. So it allows players to follow instructions provided by the Rap Rat on the TV. So years after this game, I guess, kind of faded out, people started rewatching the board game videos and it wasn't the same video as before. So in this video that they were playing, this VHS video, there was a rat, but it was torturing people in a dark room. So instead of it telling you stories, instead of it telling you like instructions on what to do, it was torturing people. And then after people would watch it, they would hear scratches at their door.
Nope.
Ashley, let me in. Ashley.
Wait, was it a video game?
Yeah. It was a game. It was a board game, but it came with a VHS tape. And the
Just
VHS
think of
tape, you would pop it in.
but evil.
Nope.
More evil. And they're all, Ashley, let me in, Ashley.
When she does that voice.
Let me in, ho. You're not a hoe, I'm just kidding. Okay, we're at the end.
No, I'm not. Just kidding, babe.
You heard it here first, Drew.
You heard it here. Last story, you guys. I know I'm such a great storyteller. So okay, so I'm ending things with my favorite kind of doll, ventriloquist dolls.
Ooh.
They're so cute. I want to buy one and I'm going to bring it and it's going to sit next to me.
Nope.
Michael Diamond was giving Mr. Fritz. He was given Mr. Fritz. It was made by a prisoner on one of the World War II camps, I think. So the owner now is Mr. Diamond. So he set up a GoPro late at night after he kept noticing the display case kept opening at least once a week. So somebody gave him this head of a ventriloquist doll. He has it in a display and he started noticing like it was opening. And so this would happen a lot. It kept coming off the latch. So he decided to set up the camera for fun, he said. So over the next 2 nights, the little door on display would swing open. the doll's heavy eyes, which were always tightly shut, they sprung open, and then the lips sprung open. And this is all on video. It's real. I can show it to y'all.
What?
So I saw the video. So like the door opens a little bit, and then the eyes open, and then the mouth drops, like when ventriloquist dolls talk. And so I knew you would like that.
I love it.
So it looked like the doll was trying to say something, but after seeing the clip, he said he got like this weird feeling in his gut, and he still kept the doll. Like the kids are like, Dad, like that doll, I have nightmares about it, but he can't, for some reason, he can't get rid of it. So what he does is he chains the box that he has it in, like he chains it shut, and then he puts a cover over it so people won't see it, but it's still there, you know? And it was on the news, so...
It was on the news?
Yeah, so there's a video of it. I'll show it to you guys later.
What the heck?
Yes. Yeah, post it on the Facebook group.
I'll post it. And that is Mr. Fritz, you guys. And he is just like this massive head of a ventriloquist doll. Oh, I sent you a picture of him.
Yeah.
You did? Oh, yeah, you did.
She said, hey, Ash.
I said, hey, you guys.
I literally, when you sent it, all I could see was the head. I thought it was just a headless, like, doll.
It
like
is
just the head. It's just the head.
He has it on a display. I don't know if the
like on
body
on a stick.
Yeah,
it's a head on a stick.
On a stick. A jalapeno
on a stick.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's but
that's even creepier.
Exactly. Like, where does the hand go to open the eye? If I was a ventriloquist, I'd be like, feed me, bitch.
I'm hungry.
It sounded like a robot. Feed me.
Robot.
Beep, beep, feed me.
Beep, beep, boop, boop, bop.
Oh, no.
Drew, feed me.
Buy me tacos. Anyway.
No.
That's it for me.
I
Thanks
can't. A freaking
for coming to my TED Talk.
Doll.
I don't know, but I really like Mandy with the Y.
Yeah. Mandy's a little bitch. She's a little diva,
I feel like we could get along.
I can just see her. Like,
I'm not inviting her over to my house, but I'm just saying I think we would get along.
I'm just saying, you crying and then that dog crying, I couldn't. I'd be like, you guys get out of here.
Why?
Why, both of them? Stop.
You're being a hoe.
You're being a hoe. Oh my god. I don't know why, like, it's just dolls. I hated this topic, just FYI. Because all I could find was dolls.
We know that's why you picked the other one. You're like, nope.
I know, it's
right
like
when you,
social media guys. No.
Right when you picked that one, I was like, nope. We're going to go spooky this time.
I wanted to find more haunted objects. Like, that was cool because it was a different, but it's mostly toys.
Yeah, it was like,
dolls.
I found a lot of dolls and a lot of like stuffed animals type thing.
Yeah.
And then I did find some like on YouTube where it was like haunted, like 10 haunted toys, but they were kind of stupid. I was like, never mind.
I think the Nintendo one, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that one
was my
cool.
favorite.
I didn't know about that one. But Gato, you're going to like this one.
Okay. Let's see.
So I found a story of Robert the Haunted Doll. So Robert the Doll actually dates all the way back to the 1900s. So it was given to this little boy named Eugene Robert Otto in 1904. And he was around like 4 or 5 years old at this time. And now he was like a super famous like artist. And it was given to him by his family's servant. She gave him the doll, but a lot of people are speculating that she cursed the doll or she did some kind of like voodoo on it. Because shortly after, Eugene Robert Otto named the doll Robert after him. And he was Eugene, they called him Gene for short. And so they lived in the house. It was built between 1890 and 1898, and that's where Eugene got Robert. And he was so attached to this doll, like he automatically like became friends with this doll. And the doll was dressed in like a sailor kind of suit. And it was kind of weird because he was like a life-size doll. Like he wasn't a small little like teddy bear type of thing. Like he was like 4 feet tall. So he was like a life-size. They were saying that the servant kind of made the doll to resemble Eugene when he was a little kid. So that's why they're saying like she did some sort of voodoo on it. Because after he got the doll, there was like all these weird things that would happen. And one night particular, his mom and his dad woke up to hearing him screaming in his room, and they tried to go into the room and the door was locked, like from the inside. And when they finally got it opened, his entire room was like, all the furniture was like knocked over, and he was in the corner like crying and screaming, and the doll was like on the foot of the bed just sitting there. And his mom asked him, why did you do this to your room? And he's like, no, Robert did it. And so he kept the doll, but ever so often, like in his life, he kept it all the way until the day he died. Like weird random stuff would happen. He could hear the doll like moving around. He could see it like it would be in one, like in the corner. He'd leave the room, come back. It was like in another corner or on top of his bed. And so the doll was just like haunted, like he said, but he didn't want anything like anyone else to own it because he didn't want anything to happen to the doll. And so as years went on, like, you know, all this misfortune and stuff started happening. So like things would happen like car accidents. He would get like broken bones. There was even a time like he had like financial struggle, and he basically blamed it all on the doll. And so he kept the doll for 20 years. And I couldn't figure out if it was his house, because the house that he lived in, they said that he kept it like in a room, like when he married his wife and they moved into the old house they used to live in when he was a kid. They kept the doll, and he was like, I want to give the doll his own separate room. So he had him in the room, and kids would like say that they could see him from the window. And like he was peeking? That he was like looking out the window, and his wife stated that she could hear like footsteps and like evil, like giggling, like gosh. Demonic giggling. And so she made him. He's like, can you just imagine like you're alone in the house and then
or he's like with his little fingers.
See, that's what I imagined at first, and then I was like, I don't want to hear that.
I just pictured like Stewie like running around up in the attic. Like,
it was an attic, wasn't it? Where they kept them?
Yeah. So at first he had him like in one of the bedrooms, and then his wife was like, no, get that shit in the attic. So they put him in the attic, and he had him like locked in like this thing, like I don't know if it was like a box or like a chest or something, but he put him in there. And then every single time he'd go up to look, because his wife was like, I hear footsteps and I hear this and I hear that. He would go and look, and the doll was like sitting by the attic window. And the little kids would say that the doll would like peer out of the window. You could see him, and that he would actually like mimic them. Like he would be like making fun of them and such. And so this went on for so long until the day that he died. And so Eugene died. He died in 1974, and a new owner took over the house, and she was a 10-year-old little girl. And she was so happy that she found like this little doll like in the attic. And so she was like playing with him and kept him. But soon she realized that the same thing was happening to her. But this time, like the other ones, when Eugene had him, he didn't really say anything about like the doll wanting to hurt him or anything like that. But this little girl did. She said that when she had the doll that it wanted to hurt her, and that she would wake up often in the middle of the night screaming in fear, and told her parents that Robert was moving around like the room. And so they gave the doll away, and today he lives in the East Martello Fort, which is in Key West, Florida, and they keep him in there. But even that one, I went to the website, and they have a whole website dedicated to Robert. It's called robertthelivingdoll.com or some kind like that. So the doll, for facts or history facts, he was made at the Steiff Company in Germany, and he stands 40 inches tall, and he's stuffed with wood wool. Wood wool.
Wood
wool.
Say that 5 times.
Wood wool. Wood wool.
Wood. I can't spoke.
It's known as Excelsior or something
Ecstasy?
Like that. Yeah.
That's what I thought too.
Wood wool known as Excelsior is what it's called. And he's dressed in a sailor suit, and he had painted features like on his face. But over time, they went away. But anyways, so they have him there at the museum, and the people there can hear like footsteps around. They can hear giggling. And for some reason, it's the same way. Like, no one can take pictures of them. And then, like, their cameras and stuff will malfunction, or, like, the flashes will, like, burst, like, when they're trying to take a picture of them. And then the people around there was one, what is it called? Reporter. A reporter went because he wanted to find out, like, is this doll, like, really haunted? Mm-hmm. So he said that he went to the doll, and what he said was that at first when they walked in, he saw the doll, and the doll had an expression on his face like of a little boy, regular doll. But he said that the doll looked as if he was, like, in trouble. Like, oh my God, like, what are they going to do? Why are they here, like, in my room? And then they were talking to each other. And I guess he said that it felt like the doll was listening to their conversation, because as soon as he started, like, pointing things out, like the guy that was giving him the tour started pointing things out, he realized, oh, he's a reporter gonna, like, say stuff about me. That he said the doll's expression changed. Like, he didn't see it, but he said that when he walked in the first time, that the doll looked just like a little innocent little boy. And then when he turned to look at the doll again, after looking at all the stuff that was there, like, in the museum, that the doll kind of had like a weird glaring.
Like he was mad?
Yeah, like he was mad at them. Yeah. And so he said there was definitely some kind of, like, intelligence there, and, like, the doll was, like, listening to them. So after the little girl had it, and before that he went to this museum, there was a girl named Myrtle Reuter who purchased Otto's home in 1974. So this is after the little girl. She became Robert's companion, and she kept him. And she moved to Von Pierster Street 6 years later. And in 1994 is when she donated Robert over to the museum. So since 1994, he's been there. He's still there. And people write in letters to him, because if they try to take a picture of him or, like, say anything bad, like, about him, they kind of, like, experience, like, weird things happening to them. So the people at the museum say that they get letters of apologies to the doll. Wow. And they're saying, like, I'm sorry for being disrespectful, because if you're disrespectful to him, he'll, like, cause stuff to happen.
Do the workers go and read the letters to him?
I couldn't find it, but I think they do. They might. But yeah, so they say, like, that they hear, like, weird stuff coming from the room that he's in. They hear giggles, they hear laughing, and that every now and then he's kind of, like, turned around, like, in his case. Like, he's not the way that they left him the night before, and he's still there to this day.
Wow.
I'm going to go see Robert.
So I also read that he inspired the Chucky movies.
Yes, he did. That's why you were going to like that, because he's the inspiration for the Chucky doll.
I love him.
And also, fun fact. So I watched this YouTuber called Omar Gosh.
Oh, I love him.
Gosh, I love him. Yeah. So he has a little mini Robert doll, and they went to the museum and they did some kind of ritual to give him permission to move into his doll.
Did it work?
So then he started experiencing, like, scary stuff at his house.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So then they had to do another ritual to put him back in the case, like his soul back into the original doll.
Why the hell would you do that?
He's crazy.
For content, man. For content.
He does a lot of stuff, though. I love him.
I know.
He'll stay the night at cemeteries, like, stuff like that.
Like, he walked in on, like, a cult. Like, they were doing, like,
I like
the devil worshipping. Like, they freaked out. They ran down the stairs. They tumbled down the stairs. And it's really good. It's so good.
Yeah, I like that one.
Oh, hell no.
It's so good. Yeah, you should watch him. Oh,
but you can get your own little, replica
at the
Robert doll.
gift shop, right?
Yeah. So in case y'all want to get one. I won't, but y'all can.
I wonder if I could order it.
Oh, maybe.
You know what I mean? Like,
let me know.
Online? Yeah.
I buy low key.
Because I ordered some voodoo doll earrings from New Orleans from this famous shop.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw them. They're really cute.
Right? They have a real pin in them.
Cute.
Yeah. So they were saying that Robert is a voodoo doll. That's why the Chucky one, they have that voodoo guy. Like,
it would explain why he's stuffed with that.
Yeah.
Wood. What did you say?
Wood wool.
Yeah.
Wood wool.
A stuffed dolly.
They call it Excelsior or something like that. But that's why they're saying that, because
the original owner found him, right?
The original, it was given to him.
It was given to him.
Yeah, by this. Apparently, it was by the servant. I did find one where it says like his dad had brought it back for him, but most of them say it was given to him by the servant because apparently the servant was like treated really bad by the father and the mother family.
What if it's like the spirit of the father that's in there, or I don't know.
I don't know.
My mind's like
I don't know.
jumping to.
Like, because I only found that one of the dad, but I think it is the servant did voodoo. Some were saying that like when the servant died, that it's her spirit that went into him. And I was like, I could see that because if she was treated badly, maybe she's like revenge.
Yeah, I was thinking like, what if it's a spirit of somebody that used to work there, or to make sure they get vengeance?
Could be.
Creepy.
But then
I wouldn't keep it though. Like he kept it for his entire life.
Yeah.
Like 20-some years.
Maybe he felt like some kind of weird connection to it. Like the way my mom did to that nasty doll I hated. I'm never going to let her live that down.
Maybe.
She loved that doll.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I just sell it.
She can make a movie.
I think I gave it away for free. I can't remember how much I sold it for.
Yeah, I would not keep these dolls. Anything haunted, I would not keep it.
Imagine his wife. He's like, "Hey, we're getting married, but I have to give this doll that I have his own room."
Right? I caught myself though, like when I was doing research, looking at different videos, and there is like a compilation video of like people catching their dolls moving by themselves.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there for like 2 hours watching these videos. I saw at 2:00 in the morning.
Goodness, have you seen the one that walks?
Yes. No. I used to have
the big tall one. There's a big tall doll and the lady's walking and it only walks with her. Like other people grab the doll and like walk with her with the doll and it doesn't move its legs. But when that one lady grabs it, you could see its like legs moving. It's so weird.
Oh no. I used to have one like that. I think it was like a birthday or Christmas gift, and my mom said that she locked it up in the shed. Did she was scared of it? Oh, I don't know. I think we threw it out.
I would throw it out. I saw one video of this teddy bear was laying next to this little girl, and it just like gets up like a zombie. It just like gets up and then it rolls over on top of her. And I was like, what the fuck? And some people were like, oh, it was staged. Someone's under the bed. I was like, how the hell is someone going to be under that
bed? Have you seen the one with the Barbies where the little girl's like talking with the Barbies and then the head just like moves real quick looking at her? She like threw it and like ran away. That's me.
There's one like that. It's a quinceañera doll. You know when you have your quinceañera, they give you your last doll.
The little porcelain doll.
And it's a porcelain doll. And the girl's showing it to the camera and the doll just like turns and looks at her while she's talking.
That's why I didn't have one. I was like, hell no, I ain't getting a doll.
I had one. It was really pretty, but I
had a lamb.
Now she's locked up in the attic at my parents' house. And my mom, I don't know if my mom found it. Mom, that thing. Just kidding. Just leave it there.
Fast forward. Yeah. I don't like dolls. I don't.
No. Nope. Oh, I'm sorry. They're all gonna come get you now.
I hated my porcelain dolls. My grandma would always give me one all the time, and I'd accidentally break them.
Oh, my grandma
keep giving me more.
On my dad's side, she would always give me porcelain dolls, and it would freak my mom out.
I would turn them around because I was like, I don't want to see your face.
They have cute faces.
Okay, so I'm going to be talking about evil Furbies.
I had a Furby.
Me too. And I have creepy stories about mine too.
Uh-oh.
So, a Furby is an American electronic robotic toy that was originally released in 1998. So all of you millennials, you know what we're talking about. It was released by Tiger Electronics. It resembles a hamster or owl-like creature and went through a period of being a must-have toy during the holiday season. It was like huge sales until the 2000s. I didn't even know that they continued on making them.
Really?
Like they revived them and everything. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So over 40 million Furbies were sold during 3 years of its original production, with 1.8 million sold in 1998 and 14 million sold in 1999. Its speaking capabilities were translated into 24 different languages. Dave Hampton and Caleb Chung spent 9 months creating the Furby, in addition to 9 months spent designing the toy. After 2 attempts at licensing the concept, they invited fellow toy and game inventor Richard C. Levy to join the efforts to sell Furby. Levy brought Furby to Tiger Electronics, and Tiger's Roger Schiffman bought the rights to it. So Furby's first public appearance was at the American International Toy Fair in 1998. Furbies were the first successful attempt to produce and sell a domestically aimed robot for kids. That's creepy, right?
What?
A domestically aimed robot for kids. As a kid's toy.
If I would have known that, I wouldn't have bought one back then.
Yeah. So a newly purchased Furby starts out by speaking entirely Furbish. So they're literally like,
yeah.
Yeah. The unique language that all Furbies use, but is programmed to start using English words and phrases in place of the Furbish over time. So they developed the program to like learn your language. Oh. So even if you didn't speak English, if you spoke Spanish, it would learn to speak Spanish. So depending on like what type of like nationality or what environment they're around, they would learn that language. Creepy, what right? I didn't even know this. I read all this. I was like, holy shit.
My poor Furbies are puto.
So I know. So Furbies originally retailed for about $35, and upon its release, they sold very well. And they were very demanding in 1998 during the Christmas period because it was a super demanding toy. Everybody wanted one. I remember I wanted one. I cried for them.
We were like 7, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So eventually they sold out in stores. So then people were actually buying them and then reselling them for over $100, sometimes as high as several $100s. Furbies were sold for over $300 in newspapers and in auctions. Nicknames were given to different varieties and sellers assigned to different values. So like small toy stores were buying them and then reselling them for a higher price to make profit. So basically what happened is the significant aftermarket demand and price for the toy resulted in cases of fraud. So like a lot of parents were buying Furby toys from different retailers, like online, because this was like AOL and like the internet first came out or whatever. Yeah. So parents were buying these Furbies offline for over like hundreds of dollars, and then they weren't getting them in the mail. So people were like gypping them for money. So like they had to file for fraud. Parents battled arguments. Like they even like at the stores, it got to the points to where like parents were fighting for like, the last Furby on the shelf. It was like this crazy thing that went on. So it's actually similar to Hatchimals. Do you remember when the Hatchimals first came out? The electronic things with the eggs? Yes. That's what it's similar to. Like that's how high in demand they were. Like people were like buying them, reselling them for like hundreds of dollars, and parents were spending all that money to get them for their kids.
Damn.
So I wonder like how much my mom spent for mine.
Yeah. I'm like, did you get it?
But back then, like a Furby was $35. Hatchimals are 100 and something.
Yeah, well, back then, because they were all sold out because they're so high in demand, people were reselling them for that much money back then too.
Smart.
I never knew this.
But you know what? I just thought of something. I didn't make the connection if the Hatchimals and the Furbies are from the same vendor. I don't know if they are, but I wouldn't be surprised because that one is also an animatronic toy for kids. And like you're supposed to like raise it up from birth and all that stuff. So I don't know.
Interesting. So
like the updated Furbies now have voice recognition. They have facial movements now. Some of them, some were sold by Hasbro between 2005 and 2007. They released another updated Furby with LCD eyes. Oh. So like the eyes are like glowing. And they have a mobile app that came out in 2012 where you can actually update your Furby to like speak like more slang languages, teach them tricks and all this stuff. It's crazy. Like, you know how it is now with like technology. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So a lot of these stories I got from Reddit, and they're creepy, evil stories about these little furry electronic animals.
Yay!
So this one is from No Surf 2 from Reddit, and They say, well, it would be a Furby. A friend bought me one as a joke while we were stationed in Germany. The one she got me was red and black and evil looking. Well, fast forward a couple of weeks after losing interest in a thing, I'm sleeping and I suddenly hear a demonic, graveling voice come from the bookshelf. Not the sound of batteries running out, but seriously, a demonic voice. Jumping up, I turn on the lights and search for the sound. I hear it coming from the top shelf, and when I look, suddenly, there it is. I hear a voice behind me, and the little bastard is sitting on top of my wall locker, just repeating, "Kaka kiki, kaka kiki."
What does that
Then
mean?
it says, "Hello, son, I missed you." I immediately took it out and burned it in a pit and cleansed it with fire. It screamed as it burned, and I can still hear those screams 10 years later.
What?
This next one, they titled it, "A Furby Never Dies. They Just Bide Their Time." This is from Redditor Land Elk. I had a Furby that I loved for a few months. Then I turned her off and set her up in my closet. I didn't want to give her away. She sat there in view with her eyes closed for about 4 years. One day I opened my closet door and her eyes were open. She blinked at me and then I got rid of her.
That's right. You get rid of it.
This next one's titled, "Furby Language is Straight Up Demonic." This is by, it's kind of funny. Kanger Nasty. That's their Kanger Nasty. So they say, I bought one, and when someone bumped it off my table after we set it up again, it only spoke in a demonic backwards English sounding devil voice. It also functioned without batteries in it during the middle of the night. Horrifying. I threw it out.
Damn.
This next one's titled, "When Furbies Are Pure Nightmare Fuel." This is by Burden's Kid. I had 2 Furbies. They were buried in the bottom of the toy box. Sleeping in... Yeah, they were buried. What? What happened?
I think I was eating.
Oh. God was eating chocolate. She jumped. I was like, what? Oh, okay. I had 2 Furbies. They were buried in the bottom of the toy box. Sleeping in the dead of the night, years after we got them, I heard a deep, slow voice groaning, "Feed me."
Gottle.
Oh, hell no. Screamed, ran to my parents' room, woke them both up, made them go into my room to take the monster away. They went digging through my toy box when we hear it again, "Feed me."
Oh my goodness.
More screaming and crying. Finally, my dad pulls out a half-dead Furby from inside my toy box and goes to smash it with the hammer in the garage. Still had nightmares from that one years later.
Way to go,
Furby.
Dad.
He was just hungry.
He's all, "Feed me."
But it's weird how they just turn on,
They
right?
do. Mine used to do that all the time in the middle of the night. Even with me switching it off, it would turn on. Freak me out.
Yeah.
Fuck that
Yeah.
shit. Oh my. Mine never did that. Unless I don't remember.
So this one's called "Furbies Have Feelings Too, You Know."
Oh.
And this one's by Redditor username Can Do a Cartwheel.
Oh, me too. I still got
So when
it.
I was about, let's say 7 or 8, I had 2 Furbies. A mom Furby and a baby Furby. One day, my older brothers were messing around with the baby Furby, throwing it up in the air over and over again until one of them eventually drops it. It ended up making some weird noises, closing its eyes, and then never turning back on again. The mom Furby apparently hears this, makes the exact same noise, and then proceeds to die off as well. The mom Furby died of apparent sadness over losing its own child.
Oh my goodness.
I changed the batteries on both Furbies numerous of times and they never came back to life. Anywho, Furbies have been a slightly traumatic experience for me.
What?
That's kind of sad, right?
I cried.
But it's sad and creepy. That's
they
weird.
died.
They died. So the
They died
baby died
together.
because they dropped it, and then the mom died of a broken heart because the baby died.
That dumb bitch. Why you drop
Bitch
why did
ass.
you drop it?
Bitch ass brothers. I feel like that would be something my uncles would do.
That's horrible.
Baby.
I kind of want to hear the sound it made.
No.
When
I don't know.
How?
that's a good one.
This one's called Don't Buy a Self-Proclaimed Haunted Furby.
Yeah, don't do that.
And actually, this Redditor, I couldn't get the name because the post got deleted. Well, like, they deleted it from their profile, but like somebody saved the original post. Okay. So I don't have their username. So this one says, so my sister used to collect all these Furbies, hundreds. It was weird, but that's just her. One day she buys one on eBay. We thought it was a joke. It said haunted Furby. It was cheap enough, so she went for it. Huge mistake. Strange things started happening after she got it. She started noticing some of her Furbies were coming up missing, and at first she blamed me, but after searching my room, she pretty much dropped the case and was very sad about it. For a couple of weeks, Furbies would come up missing without a trace. My sister had become very depressed at the loss of her Furbies because they were like her babies. One night I woke up. It was pitch black and I could hear something small moving around in the hallway. I gave a disgusted groan at the thought of it being rats. I got out of my bed and grabbed my hockey stick and I felt my way to the door. And just as I pulled the door open, I heard doo-dee-doo-dee-dee.
I love the sound effects.
Still pitch black, I could only see two robotic eyes on the floor. I yelled in shock and then gave a relieved laugh when I realized that it was just a Furby. Figuring my dog had been playing with it and thinking that I had figured out the case of the missing Furbies. I grabbed the toy, shuffled to my sister's room to return the furry toy on top of the shelf. I opened my sister's door, leaving the light off, not to wake her. Trying not to trip over anything, I slowly made my way to her furry shelf. I had just set it down and was making my way out the room when I stepped on something hard. Biting my lip, trying to keep myself from crying out in pain, I looked down to see what I stepped on. I couldn't make out what I was looking at due to poor lighting, but I bent over and picked it up, and it was a Furby head. Looking at the floor a little longer, I discovered that her floor was littered with pieces of Furby everywhere. That's when I heard my sister's muffled cries. I looked at her only to see that she was tied up and gagged with a terrified look looking behind me, and all of a sudden here is ooh yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
I turned around and I see the evil Furby. Needless to say, I ran outside with it and I burned it in fire. That's all they wrote.
What? His sister was tied up.
Tied up in her bed and gagged.
What?
How true that is, I don't know. But they did buy a haunted Furby. So maybe, I don't know, the spirit tied her up. I don't know.
What the fuck shit? Oh my God.
Terrifying, right?
Kinky ass Furby.
Oh my God, guys. Seriously.
So this next one.
There's more?
But wait,
Furby.
There's more.
But wait.
So this next one says, my Furby was possessed by a Japanese ghost.
Oh, great. And it's Japanese.
And this is by Cal McGehee.
Ooh.
Like Dr. McGehee.
Hi, Dr. McGehee.
And he says that I'm going to try to synopsize this because it's
Synopsis.
synopsis.
Snap.
So in 1998, he said he was about 5 years old. He was a very dramatic child and he demanded that he wanted a Furby. But around this time, Furbies were like sold out. They couldn't find them in any stores. The only place that the parents could find them was either somebody reselling them for a higher price or buying it online for like hundreds of dollars. It was on the top of his Christmas list, and he said, this is what I want for Christmas. I want nothing else. I just want this Furby. He woke up Christmas morning and he got a Furby.
Oh,
yay.
So he said that his Furby, he named his Furby Furbo. And he said that his Furby was very unique. He had unique colors. Until this day, he can't find a Furby like the one that he had. He said it was like yellow with like red stripes and it had like blue hair. He said it almost looked like it was customized just for him. And it was all his favorite colors that he wanted. So he doesn't exactly know like if his parents like got somebody to customize make one or what. Never really got that. So anyways, he grew up calling him Furbo. What happened?
I heard scratching at the door, but it was probably Rocco.
It was probably the little doll that Otto was talking about.
It was Rap Rat. He's like, yo.
Yo.
So I'm going to read this word for word because this part's not long.
Okay.
So over the course of a few weeks, Furbo's attitude started to change. His voice got a bit deeper and manly, which I later attributed as his batteries wearing out. But even replacing said batteries did not fix the problem. Sometimes I swore I caught it staring at me when it should have been in sleep mode. And as soon as I would look directly at it, Furbo would close his soulless black eyes. Mm-hmm. If this doesn't already remind you of the trailer for the Chucky movie or something, then what happened next certainly will. One night, as I was doing my homework, Furbo awakened and demanded that I feed him. His voice, this time almost demonic, was louder than usual and started to do a strange accent. This accent slowly descended to an Asian accent, as though English was not his first language. I brought it downstairs to my mother. By this point, I had grown weary of the thing and thought oh my God, what happened?
Don't tell me. The Furby.
The Furby
It's
goes.
the Furby.
My screen just went black.
It's like, try telling my story now.
I know. Okay. I had grown weary of the thing and thought it saddled me with too many responsibilities. So his Furby was very demanding, wanted his attention 100% of the time. So the way you fed them at the time was you would put your finger in the tip of its mouth and it would suckle, it would suck on your finger. He says, I'm 99% sure I once tried to breastfeed it this way.
Oh my God.
But once the Furby became demonic, I was really scared that it would try to bite me or bite my hand off.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
Furbo developed a menacing, insidious personality that made it clear that he was now the boss, and that terrified me. Feeding it didn't work. It still demanded constant love and attention. For hours, it rattled on, demanding to be fed, rocked, burped, etc. Normally, once these demands are met, it would go to sleep and I would carefully place it somewhere else, quiet in a dark room, so it wouldn't wake up. However, the feeding, rocking, burping, all of that endless cycle did not satisfy this Furby.
It wanted more titty.
Yeah, I vividly remember my mother crying out in frustration with Furbo as she tried her best to send the relentless monster to sleep. Eventually, we took the batteries out to put an end to the madness. And to our absolute bewilderedness, Furbo continued his demands. So, in case you didn't know, a lot of people say that the Furbies, even though their batteries are out, that they develop enough juice power from the batteries to still continue to work without them. Weird. Yeah. I even found it on Google.
What kind of damn technology was they using?
Evil technology. Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
They sold their souls to the devil. I know it.
Well, damn.
Yeah. Oh, and he said in his Google search, he found that the histories in the Furby's technology would actually record you. They would listen to you.
What?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Kind of like the Alexas. Oh, you know how the Alexas sit there and record your conversations and they hear what's going on? That supposedly the Furbies did that too. That's what he found in his search.
Damn.
So he said that he begged his mom to call the police. He was convinced that there was something supernatural going on with Furbo. He said that there was one night when he was asleep and he woke up to Furbo saying in an Asian accent, "You don't love me anymore, do you? Do you? Do you?"
Oh my God.
Do you?
I would have tossed it out the damn window at that point.
Thankfully, he was saying this over and over again. Thankfully, he relented and went into hypersleep with one long groan. At last, peace prevailed, but not for long. Later that week, I was sleeping soundly in my room when Furball, still batteryless, woke up with a horrifying shriek. If 5-year-olds can go permanently gray, I surely would have. There he stood at the end of my bed with glowing green eyes. He started speaking in tongues. Did I mention Furby's eyes are not supposed to glow back then? That wasn't created with the 1998 release. They weren't supposed to be glowing. His eyes were glowing.
Oh, shit.
I, of course, screamed in terror to alert my parents. As soon as they entered the room, Furball went back to his hypersleep. They dismissed the story, and I lived in fear for the rest of the week. Wondering what Furball was going to do next, rob my wallet, break my nose, kill my family. I don't know, but I wasn't waiting to find out. So what he did is he woke up in the middle of the night, went outside, put him in a shoebox, and literally told him, "I'll see you in hell," and buried him in the backyard.
Oh, shit.
So he said that he had nightmares all the way up until he was 15, and then finally he put Furball in the back of his mind, trying to forget about him. So he said that his mom got pregnant. They were expecting a new baby in the house. So they went ahead and they're doing construction on the house to make it bigger and to build a new room for the nursery. And remember, he put Furball in the back of his mind. So he said that they were digging in the backyard to lay out the new platform of the house, like the cement, and they digged up Furball.
Dang.
Yeah.
Was he still there?
He was still there.
Okay.
So he said among closer inspection, he realized that it was the shoebox that he had buried Furball in, and he couldn't believe what he was seeing. He said that out of morbid curiosity, he opened up the shoebox, and there he was with his beady eyes staring at him like the fires from hell, taunting him and telling him, "I'm back."
Oh, hell no. Why the hell did he not burn it?
He doesn't even say if he burned it. He was 18 years old when he came back into his life, but he doesn't say what happened to him after that. So I'm assuming maybe he burned it. I
hope he burned it or broke it and scattered the pieces to where it can't come back together. Like, what the
So Furbies are evil. I had one growing up and I loved her. She was like baby pink, and she had like baby blue hair, and like the fur on her chest was baby blue. And for some reason, to me, she smelled like cotton candy. I don't know why. She just did. She smelled like cotton candy.
The way it looked. You know what I mean?
Looked like cotton candy.
So I named her Candy. And I raised her, like I fed her, like she started speaking English. And then I would get tired of her and I would just kind of like toss her in my closet, like with the rest of my toys. I would like turn her off and toss her in my closet. And then there was one night I woke up and I heard, like she was crying for me. So I got up and I was like rocking her to sleep, and I turned her off and she was still crying. But I didn't think anything of it. I was more scared of that damn doll that was underneath all of my bears. I didn't even think like, oh, this is like an evil toy or whatever. So I had sat her down. I had like a corner where I had like my little, it was like a picnic bench, like a sun with like my chair and stuff where I had all my stuffed animals. So I sat her down on the little table. Well, I woke up the next morning and she was gone. So I remember I had asked my parents like if they took her, and they said, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, she was gone for like weeks, and then I forgot about her. And then there was one day I heard a noise in my closet, and I went in my closet and she was sitting on the shelf in my closet. So like she would literally be gone for weeks and then like would randomly pop up. Yeah.
What the fuck?
It was weird. I don't know what I did with it. I think I threw it out. I can't remember. It was weird.
Damn.
But I did read a lot of other stories of other people saying that their Furbies did that too, that their Furbies would like leave, like they would disappear for weeks and then like randomly show up somewhere in the house or like be in the same spot they left it in.
What the fuck?
Weird, right?
Oh, hell no.
What's weird too is that the Furbies couldn't walk.
They hopped.
They just kind of like hopped.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
But I remember that. I remember her like disappearing for weeks. And we didn't have pets or anything. Like, so I didn't have a dog. Because when I had her, we were living in an apartment. So like we didn't have pets or anything in the apartment. So it was just me and my parents. And she would just disappear.
That's weird.
I want to talk to the owner of the Furby people. and be like, what the hell did you really do? Because this is not normal. Yeah.
And they were everywhere. I remember even McDonald's, because I remember I would just go and tell my mom to get me Happy Meals because they came with a little Furby.
It was a little toy, right?
Yeah, it wasn't a fancy one like the real Furbies, but it had like the eyes would move and it had like little wheels. I don't know.
Yeah, I had some of those
everywhere.
little ones.
This is why they can't build robots, you guys. They're gonna turn evil.
I mean, even the robots there is now, isn't there like robots that do everything?
Yeah.
Stripper robots.
Oh hell no, dude! Like.
My favorite was the one she's like, oh hell no. That reminded me of you.
Hell no.
Nope.
So I'm pretty sure y'all have heard of this one. It's called the evil possessed Elmo doll.
I love Elmo.
No.
Now Elmo? Like, first Furby's now Elmo? God damn it. I'm not giving my children nothing.
So here's a pen. I know. Here's a pen and paper. Be creative. So in 1996, the beautiful and lovely Elmo dolls were up for sales in stores worldwide. Children love these dolls. Western world loved Elmo. So they came up with this Elmo doll called Elmo. Was it Elmo Knows My Name?
Yes.
So it's like an Elmo doll that
talks,
but would learn your, the program would learn your name. So it would say, come on, Ashley, let's play. Come on, Ashley, sing with me. Tickle me, Ashley. Hug me, Ashley.
Nope.
Tickle my butt.
I think my little cousin had one and I hated that thing.
So
cute.
The Bowman family had a hard time finding an Elmo doll to purchase for their 2-year-old son during the holiday season. But one day they got lucky. They finally found one and bought an Elmo. They finally found one and bought an Elmo Knows Your Name doll. They were extremely happy as they knew that their son James would absolutely love it. Just as expected, the Bowman's 2-year-old son absolutely loved his Elmo doll. The Elmo Knows Your Name doll is programmed to recite its owner's names as well as other fun additions to the program. One day, the 2-year-old was playing with the Elmo doll, and the mother was listening from distance. All of a sudden, she swore that she heard the doll say, "Kill James!" She immediately ran over there after checking the Elmo doll. She thought it was all in her head. She thought maybe she was going crazy, and maybe she was tired because she was up with her 2-year-old son all night. A couple of days later, the same thing happened. The mother thought that she might be losing her mind at this point. Then one day, while the family was watching TV, out of nowhere, the Elmo doll started singing "Kill James."
Wait, who is James?
The little boy, their 2-year-old son. The little boy.
What?
Their son. Yeah. The family was terrified. They immediately called Fisher Price. Fisher Price was extremely confused and basically told them, like, did you change out the batteries? Did you reset the doll? Yeah, we changed out the batteries. We reset the doll, and freaking Elmo is still saying, "Kill James."
Did you unplug it and plug it back in?
Yeah.
I could just imagine the conversation.
So
killed my son. Did you change the battery?
Did you reset the doll? And they're like, yes, like we changed out the batteries. We took the batteries out. We reset the doll. Like it's still saying that it wants to kill my son.
Oh my God.
So Fisher Price offered to give the Bowmans a refund. The Bowmans must have been a really nice family because they accepted the refund they literally could have like sued them for like millions of dollars, and they didn't. They took the refund and got rid of the doll pretty much. But like this doll made like headline news. It was all over the news.
Wait, it was the only one?
I think so. Unless there was more. This is the only one that I saw recorded. I think there was another one, but I don't think it was saying "Kill James." It was just saying like other weird things. But this specific one was saying "Kill James." There's like YouTube videos on it. Like they posted videos of it online saying it. Like it was saying "Kill James." It was on the news. The mom did like an interview with it in her lap while it was saying "Kill James."
What the fuck? It's not "Kill James." She's like, "Hi, I brought him." Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I can't.
So that's the evil Elmo doll.
So moral of the story, don't get your children shit because it's gonna say kill you.
Don't buy robots.
Yes.
Robots are evil.
Beep, beep, boop, boop. Beep.
Did we talk about that doll that switched languages? Was it us or did I hear it somewhere?
Can't remember.
Because I remember there was a doll, but I don't know if it was Elmo or an Elsa doll. I remember they bought it and it spoke English because it was a talking doll. And one day out of nowhere, it spoke Spanish.
Oh my God.
Malfunction.
Have y'all seen that?
I'm Mexican now.
Have y'all seen that TikTok video of like the Woody and the Buzz Lightyear moving by themselves?
I've seen some, but I don't know if it's the same one.
I think it's the same guy. Yeah. He like his Woody and his Buzz Lightyear. He keeps walking on them, like moving on them.
Oh, yeah.
By themselves.
I've seen it.
I think it's set up, but it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks cool.
What? Oh my God.
Imagine.
Thank God I never had that many toys when I was a kid. I would have a lot of like the make your own bracelets and drawing and shit.
You were
like
crafty.
That. Yeah.
Dude, but I remember the first time watching Toy Story and I'm like, damn. So I would run into my room real quick to see if my toys were moved. And I'm like, I think she was facing the other way. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or sit there like, I'm not going to blink.
Barbies.
Like, I'm not going to blink. I'm not going to blink.
Look at them. Yeah. So speaking of electronics, do you want to tell everybody your experience that you had with the cell phone?
What?
You and Noreen?
Oh my God. What? I didn't tell Ashley, right?
You didn't tell me? Why did y'all not tell me?
You called me that night.
Oh yeah. I called Mandy because I was freaking out. Well, okay. So besides the freshies that I'm making, my best friend and I, we sell eyelashes, right? So we were taking pictures of them to post online. And so we had the lashes down. She has the cell phone like over trying to take the picture. And then she's getting a call. I think her mom was calling her. Someone was calling her, but we were in the middle of the picture. So we're like, okay, like, we'll just wait for it to stop ringing because it was a perfect pose. Yeah. We'll wait for it to stop ringing so that way she could take the picture. The phone keeps ringing and ringing, right? And so then the phone, it stops ringing, but instead the camera, instead of facing the lashes like it was before, it was facing the ceiling and it was a man. Like if it was like it was a man, like if you FaceTime a man, his face was there and it wasn't even I know people would be like, oh, it's the person that was calling. Like it might have been their accident, like a FaceTime or something, but it wasn't because it was a regular call. But this man wasn't even who was calling her. So it was her fan, but it was just a face of a man that popped
on the
up
fan
on the cell phone. There was a face of a man. Like if he was
in the
FaceTiming.
picture.
No, like if we were, yeah, on the phone. Like if we were taking the picture, like if he was FaceTiming us, it was a face of a man. He was dark and he had like spiky hair. And I'm like, I don't know anyone with spiky hair. And Noreen's like, I don't know anyone with spiky hair. So it was just, we were taking a picture of the lashes and this random man popped up. Like
they're all calm and chill. I would have thrown the damn bone.
Oh yeah. Well, we did it. Afterwards, Noreen looked at me. She's like, did you see that? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, do you know that person? Like maybe it was your mom's boyfriend in the background. Like she's like, no, that wasn't him. That doesn't even look like him. I'm like, yeah, I've seen him before. He doesn't. So I'm like, okay, what do we do? And then we were just there quiet and we're like, okay, we'll just take the picture of the lashes. So we did. And then I called Mandy and she didn't answer. And then she called me back and I'm like, dude, the weirdest thing just happened to me. And then I told her and she was like freaking out. And I'm like, I can't explain it. It was just a man that popped up on her phone. Just a man. And you couldn't even really see the features. You could just tell he had spiky hair.
What the fuck?
Who even wears hair like that no more? You know? Like, come on, Ghost. Update your shit.
You know what the weird thing is that night I was at Sammy's house with Bob.
Ay Dios, oh my God.
Yeah. So I was sitting on their couch, right? And her boyfriend got up, went to the kitchen. Well, Steven got up and went to the kitchen. And then from my peripheral vision, I thought I saw him leaning against the couch, but like looking at the baby because Sabrina was asleep on my lap. And when I looked, there was nobody there. Steven was still in the kitchen getting pizza. So I didn't say anything because I don't want to freak them out, you know. But then Sammy was telling me that the other day, that weekend, she went to the bathroom and she said that their cat came out. Panthro, he came out of the room and like his whole body was like cringed up. His hair was sticking up. His tail was flared, and he kept looking at the bedroom. Yeah. So she said that she like locked herself in the bathroom and was like, I don't want Bob to watch me pee.
I don't want Mom to watch me
So
speak.
so that night, the next day I had called my mom and I had told her everything that happened. So I told her Gatto's story, and then I told her what I saw at Sammy's house, and then what Sammy told me about what Panthro did, and how she said that she felt that there was somebody staring at her. So tell me why that night my mom calls me and it's like midnight. My mom never calls me like past 11 o'clock. So my mom calls me and she's like, so something weird happened to me. I'm like, what do you mean? So she was like, I was doing my exercises. She's like, and Sophia's sitting on the table. And this was Mother's Day. She's like, Sophia's sitting on the table and she's making her cupcakes. She's like, and I'm doing my exercises and I felt somebody like push the bottom of my foot. She was like, so I stood up and there's nobody there. Sophia's still sitting on the table making her cupcakes. So I asked Sophie, did you touch mommy's feet? No, I've been here the whole time.
Oh my goodness.
So my mom's like, I don't know what the hell is going on, but you need to tell these men they need to stay out of my house.
Tell these men ghosts. They're hopping from house to house. Ashley,
it was just weird. Like the whole timeline was weird. Like she happens to call me while I'm at Sammy's house with Bob the ghost. And then the next day when I tell my mom, which was Mother's Day, I tell her what happened. And then that same night she felt somebody like poke her foot.
Okay, y'all need to retract this story because I don't want to call you tomorrow and some shit happens to me.
We're all eating up our words again.
I know.
Slip.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was weird. And my first thing, I didn't even know what to do. I'm like, I'm going to call Mandy. Because I'm like, I can't call Ashley. She'll be scared.
I know. God was like, I was going to text it, but no, I don't want to scare Ashley.
Yeah.
It was like probably close to midnight when she called me too.
Yeah, it was late. It was late at night.
I probably was asleep. I would have gone in the morning like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I know. All groggy. What? It was so random.
It was very random.
I had never seen that before. Like, hello, we're taking pictures of something and something else pops up.
What if it's the ghost you have that follows you?
I've never seen him, but that's an old man. And that didn't look like an old man.
Oh, never mind.
The one that follows me, he was burned in my friend's house. And one time I went over and I think from there, he just would go everywhere with me because I went to work the next day and cups were falling. And from work, like the work shelves, I was like, what the fuck? This is random. I haven't seen him in a while though. So I think I'm good. Maybe I dropped him off when I visited her.
Ashley's like, I need sage.
She's like,
we need to
don't
pray.
Come to my house.
I'm selling
for a
them
while.
for $8.50.
Oh my God.
I need mine. But yeah, that was my weekend scare.
Those were our stories, guys.
Yay.
You guys, we did a fast one today. Look at the time.
It feels great to be back, right, Ash?
Yeah. I love it.
I miss that face.
Me too.
She's scared.
I miss seeing your scared face. It's great.
Y'all, and like Nick's gonna start his job soon and he's gonna have to probably work nights, which means like I'm gonna have to be coming over here by myself. And I'm gonna be by myself.
We can carpool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Y'all live close by. I mean, I live down the road.
Myself at night.
I'll give you some sage.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could buy yourself a Furby, and the Furby will keep you.
No, hell no.
The McDonald one. It don't talk.
I have stuffed giraffes on top of, you've seen them on top of my lamp, my little stuffed giraffes.
Yeah.
Those are getting thrown out.
You have Benny. Benny's probably scared like you, right?
Yeah.
I bet y'all are both in the corner.
He's gonna run away.
He's gonna like bark and then come back.
It's
like,
funny how your pets kind of like mold to the way you are, because my cat is all over the place. Like one time I was like, where's my cat? He was on top of my closet, and then he jumps off on me and I'm like, you're not scared of anything. He's like, Rawr.
He's trying to scare you.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck are you doing?
Oh my God, I just remembered we bought Sabrina a robot dog.
Throw it out.
It's gonna start talking.
Throw it out.
Hello, Mandy.
Mommy, feed me. So I forgot to mention it. So I found this funny thing. I think it's funny. So there's steps of how you can make your Furby evil.
Oh.
They freaking would. People so would.
So they said that when you overfeed your Furby, it turns evil. So you put your finger in its mouth, you leave it there,
or your titty,
until, or you want to. If you want to breastfeed it, you could do that too.
Oh Lord!
So when you leave your finger in its mouth, it starts making like a weird noise, and then it starts like shaking like crazy. And then when you take your finger out, its eyes will like slant. And it's just looking at you like all evil.
Oh.
And it's like jibber jabber, like making all this weird noise that it's mad. Like, I guess growling at you that it's mad.
That's how I get when I get overfed.
No, that's how I get when I don't get fed.
Underfed.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I want to try this so bad.
What?
Where can we get a Furby?
Girl, they're selling them on eBay for like $35. I looked it
They're back
up.
to the original price.
I'm gonna get.
They're back to the original price.
They're whack again.
I know.
They're whack now.
There's like, I guess there's like the new Furbies that they made in 2015. If they're selling, I haven't seen them at the stores. So
No, I want an old one.
yeah. So no, the ones on eBay are from like the 1998 versions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna
wonder
get
if
one and we're
that-
gonna test it out.
No.
Yeah, here in the backyard.
fine.
Seance.
Seance. I will punt that shit. I wonder if that like because there was a Toys R Us that closed down and it was apparently haunted.
Oh,
and like all the
I read
toys
that
and
one.
stuff in there were haunted, but I think it was because it was like made like on top of like a burial ground.
It
Like an ancient
was
burial ground.
it was a man who
Was that here?
No,
No,
it wasn't
it,
here.
it was this man. He was he worked at like a farm and he fell in love with the farmer's daughter
or something,
and then they couldn't be together. She went and married a lawyer. He ended up chopping his leg off or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, they built the Toys R Us over where he died, and he would
was,
play
like,
with the toys
haunted.
at night.
Yeah. He would like make a move or like throw them off the shelves, and like it was after the toys, like even during like when it was open, people
During the
like
day.
could see things like that would happen. But when it finally closed down, it was like haunted, and all these like abandoned toys and stuff were all like.
Look at this Furby. It's called Alien Robot Bent Voice Sounds. $65 on Etsy.
Why the hell does it look like that?
It's just like the electronic part of the Furby. Look at this one.
Someone took off all the fur. It's just a bee.
Look, they put this Furby on a flamingo body.
Oh my god!
How much is that?
$180 on Etsy.
Bye. Get out of here, girl.
No thanks.
That's fail. It's an ugly ass Furby anyway. I want a Furby. Just to bring back memories.
Yoda Furby.
They would.
Oh, that's cute.
$60, y'all.
The
I don't
ears
like
are
that
kind of
one.
funny though.
On Etsy.
They look like
you could do
big
Apple Pay.
fun.
You can use Apple Pay, guys.
Use your Apple Pay, you guys. You can Apple Pay
Set
me.
it up.
They just normally look creepy. Like
Oh my god, I loved my Furby though, but then she got weird. Just disappearing.
She's all
I honestly can't remember what happened to her. Maybe she just never came back.
She's all, fuck this house.
did she roll under your bed? Maybe.
Maybe, I don't know. But what if the program was created by aliens?
I believe it.
Whatever happened to everyone's Furbies? They all went out and all went to the same location and they're building something. I'm just kidding.
They could
You're
be.
right. They all meet up. Let's meet at the park. I don't know if that's how they talk.
Let's meet at the park. Let's meet at the Alamo.
Meet me downtown at Pat O'Brien.
They're all, man, my kid, she's a bitch. She never feeds me. She just threw me in the closet. I left.
They're all, my kid is ghetto. She just eats hot Cheetos and cusses all day.
She taught me the word puto.
What even is that? Oh my god.
no. Oh my god.
Oh, that's great.
Fun.
Now someone's gonna do that.
What?
They're gonna just like put a bunch of Furbies
Together.
I'm gonna look online to see if I can find like a picture of somebody putting Furbies together doing a seance.
I'm sure.
That would be so funny. Well, guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. Because we did.
Yeah.
buy a
we
Furby.
had fun.
or an Elmo.
Don't buy a Furby or buy a Furby and let us know what happens.
Yeah.
Don't buy an Elmo, but buy an Elmo and let us know what happens. You can buy haunted dolls too on eBay.
Yes, you can.
And Amazon.
And Amazon and Etsy. Apparently, like Etsy sells haunted stuff too.
Yeah.
You can buy haunted items anywhere.
And then email us and tell us what happened.
Email us.
Email us your story and tell us what happened.
I know. Email us and tell us what happens at scarynutsscarypodcast@gmail.com. You can visit our website, scarynutsscarypodcast.com. You can check out our Patreon, follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Subscribe. You can also make sure to rate and review us on the iTunes podcast app. Follow us on Spotify. We're on iHeartRadio, pretty much on all the major platforms. And follow us on Snapchat, our personal Snapchats.
Yeah.
I can actually repost them too if you guys want. I can repost them. And I think that's it, guys.
Yay.
Yay.
Have fun.
Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, remember to always stay scared.